You know, obviously the game really started with our defensive disposition. I shared with them in the locker room, I told them, I said, hey, look, the storylines tomorrow are probably going to read points, assists, threes. Tonight on the local media, it's probably going to be all shot making. It's probably not going to be a lot of defensive possessions on the news tonight. And don't ever fall for that. It starts with our defense and our rebounding. And I thought tonight, for the first time in 4 opportunities to play, including the Dayton scrimmage, that we had an edge to us defensively that reminded me of last season. And the guys deserve a lot of credit for that. You know, I especially, want to single out Malcolm. I got on him pretty good over the last day or 1 or 2 days here. And his response, well, you saw it with his effort. And I'm really proud of the way he responded. I'm proud of the way the whole team responded. I thought that it all really started with our defense, our intensity early, our positioning, our stances, our connectedness, our communication on that end of the floor. I thought our great defense led to some opportunities on offense that got us going, got us in a little bit of a groove offensively. Now, obviously, some guys stepped up and made some shots. As I told them in the locker room, I'm not real surprised by that. We've got some guys that can make shots. That's part of who we are. I thought we shared the ball. The one thing I will say about the offense, when you have 24 assists on 41 field goals, I mean, you're really being unselfish and moving and sharing the ball. And I thought that was a good thing. But really for me, tonight's story was the defense and the way that the guys in our locker room responded to the film session yesterday. I mentioned Malcolm. There's some other guys we were hard on as well, and I think they saw it, and I just love the way that they responded. I've got a competitive group. They have a lot of pride, and I woke up this morning, I told my wife, I said, well, they're going to play today, and they did. They played today. Questions for the players?
Malcolm, what was the biggest difference for you from Friday to tonight?
I think I was more physical and more aggressive. I played really soft last game, and I really just focused on just playing hard on the defensive end and getting a lot of rebounds. Because the coaching staff, they were telling me that just the offense will come. Just worry about playing hard and doing all the little things, and that's what I focused on today.
Malcolm, is there any reason why you and maybe some of the other guys, like you said, played soft maybe the other night or didn't play as aggressive as maybe you could have?
I think we had the too cool mindset. After the game before that, we were probably like feeling ourselves a little bit, and we had to get out of that funk because we can have that sometimes. And I think this game, we weren't worried about being cool, just wanted to play really hard and just focus on defense.
What do you mean by the too cool mindset? Can you kind of elaborate a little bit?
Probably just like walking around or not sitting in the defensive stance or like talking loud. Like Coach Groce says, he says talking isn't cool these days. So he wants to phrase that as talking is cool, so to get us to talk more like Nana.
Instead of texting.
Yeah. Because he said we don't talk a lot because we always text when we go out to dinner or always on our phones. But yeah, that's what I mean by the too cool mindset. We were more focused. We talked a lot on defense tonight, and it really showed. It really showed tonight.
Ahmad, how do you weren't shooting the balls well tonight? You came out and made shots. Did confidence just get going tonight?
A little bit, yeah. You get confidence based off that, but it started with just having energy. That first 5 going out there, just having a defensive presence, and also pushing the ball, so that helps you get into a rhythm. Everybody helping out.
Malcolm, how do you do with being, yelled at a lot or encouraged, let's call it, loudly? How do you struggle, with it sometimes? Does it get to you sometimes? Do you like it? Do you feel like you need it?
Last year, probably I'll say it got to me, affecting me with us because I was probably a little bit more mature last year. I've got a year under my belt this year, so I expect them to expect a lot out of me and to help other guys. And when they see me doing wrong, they try to get on me really hard. Even Tracy, he said, no, he gets on me hard when I'm slacking. And I think it's a good thing because, if I'm not getting yelled at, that probably means like they don't expect a lot out of me. So if they yell at me, that means they expect more out of me and do more things.
Ahmad, a lot of besides a lot of the shooting today, there was a lot of passing off and sharing the ball. Just talk a little bit about that.
Coach said he was doing a great job with that, and he wanted to continue. So just attacking and finding the open man, we knew they were gonna run uphill. When someone got beat, we knew they were gonna try to help out. So the open guy is gonna be there. So we were really unselfish, we're able to get great shots off that.
This team in transition seems to really feed off that offensively. Is that just part of who you guys are?
That's definitely a part of who we are. Coach really wants us to push the pace, and that starts with myself, but then also other guys run the floor, whoever has it, just bring it up, push it down their throats, and create early opportunities. If not, then we'll get something else in the offense. But we definitely want to get something early in transition. We have players who can do that.
There was one shot you took him out in the second half, I'm pretty sure it was, a quick three. Your coach didn't like it. Do you remember that play? And you know why it was maybe not a great shot, or do you not?
In the second half?
I think it was the second half. It was like kind of like a pull-up three.
I don't really remember in particular.
Wanted to hear your
You're not supposed to tell him that, Steve, because I didn't say anything to him. One thing about him is, and he knows this, we tell him to always try to make new mistakes. Ahmad's very careful with the ball. If you look at his track record, he takes good care of the basketball. He's got a real gift to do that, and I want him to be aggressive. Obviously, he's an elite level shot maker, and as a coach, I think the thing I've learned sometimes you gotta let one or two of those go. And obviously tonight he was in a groove.
Ahmad, this might be the only game where you have a height advantage on your opponent. And when the game first started out, their quickness seemed to maybe get to you a little bit. Like Daquan Brickhouse was pretty fast. I mean, he made the first shot of the game. Did you feel like you had to get up to speed on defense in that early going?
Nah, I may have, on that possession, I may have overhelped just a little bit, just uphill, but still managed to come back and test the shot. But he made one. Those guys could play. But none of that really comes to mind when I'm out there.
Yeah.
A lot of people talk about things like that, but it's not on my mind at all. No matter who it is, height, size, whatever, we're gonna play the same way every time.
Anything else for these guys?
I don't mean to get either of you in trouble, but what was it like just to see over 100 points on the board?
I guess it was exciting. We're doing a good job. We held them to about 56, I think.
Good answer.
I think Coach is way more proud of us on that side of the floor, holding them under 60 points. So that was more important. But definitely, I guess it was a fun game to play.
Not cool.
All right, we'll let these two go and continue with the coach.
All right, guys.
John, I'll kind of ask you what I asked Matt. Were you surprised at maybe the way some of the guys came out Friday night?
A little bit, yes, to be honest. Especially for an opener. Usually an opener, guys are excited to play. It's early in the year. That's why we had to adjust kind of our approach yesterday a little bit. It was much more about us. We certainly respect every opponent that we play. But, I was concerned enough about our defense. I probably spent a little less time on Coppin State and more on us. And Dustin did a great job with the Coppin State prep. I was more concerned about our mindset, our intensity, our concentration on the defensive end, our activity, and our physicality on the glass. And I thought our guys really answered the bell there today.
What was the exact message to Malcolm, what you wanted him to concentrate on?
I want him to compete, Shannon, and I didn't think he competed at the level we're accustomed to seeing. And that's he's really usually pretty good with that. I told him I felt like someone jumped in his body on Friday night that wasn't him. His mouth was very physical, and has been a good rebounder, has been a good defender for us, has really grown offensively. I think he's really gifted. I think he's a very, very special player. But he didn't have the right mindset on Friday, and I think he saw that on the film. And Malcolm's competitive. Malcolm loves the game. Malcolm loves to compete. And I think once he saw those things, I think that fired him up, obviously, to play with an intensity level tonight that we should expect, all the time. I want to credit the older guys, Nana, Tracy, Ahmad, and Ray had them ready to play. We've got good leadership. Tracy said to me before the game, he said, "Coach, they're ready to play." And, so those guys did a great job. I want to give those guys a lot of credit, for doing a good job with the leadership piece.
John, is this kind of the team you expect every night based on what you had in the offseason, preseason? Does it just happen sometimes like this, or do teams usually need a spark like this?
Yeah, I don't know if you're going to shoot the ball like that every night, Jeremy. We have some pretty good shooters, though. This is now, we were 13 for 23 in the scrimmage and 15 for 28 to 9. I mean, we can make some shots, and it's a multitude of guys that can do that, so it's a nice, luxury to have. But we should expect the consistency with effort, concentration, attitude, actions to be a great teammate, unselfishness, having our minds and bodies ready to compete. And then we'll let the results take care of themselves. I didn't think we had that. We had that for maybe 40% of the game Friday night. Tonight I thought we were locked in for the duration.
John, good to see Kendrick make some plays as he starts to find a
Yeah.
rhythm.
We left him out there a little bit towards the end because I wanted him to get some conditioning time, quite honestly. I wanted to play for an extended length of time there without coming out. And I thought he looked good. And, I didn't feel like, hey, he's exhausted. I didn't think that at all. I thought he made some plays, like the other guys did as well. I thought he was locked in. I just thought our team had a different edge to him defensively.
I don't know if you'll go along with this, but if you were to maybe grade, the level of effort or toughness, things you talked about, intensity, togetherness, all that, wherever that was on some sort of scale in the first game and where it was tonight, I'm sure it was much closer to the high end tonight.
No question. And, that's the thing as a coach. Obviously, you say to yourself, I think I coached the same 15 guys on Friday that I coached today at 5 o'clock. So 48 hours later, they had a completely different mindset. So much of this, Steve, is mental. It is. It's just a mental part of it, And Coach Knight used to say it's like 4-1. I think he's pretty close on that, Tonight we had the right mindset. It really starts with the right mindset and the right heart. Heart being in the right place, wanting to play the right way. And our guys, I thought, played the right way. I thought they played for one another tonight rather than just with one another. I thought they really played together well.
Johnny got back-to-back good efforts from Austin Colbert. Has something flipped with him, or is it just a
Yeah, he's been good. He's practiced better, too. Maybe he's had to string the best practices that he's had probably since he's been here. I like his energy. He's communicating and talking. He has a motor, and I mean this certainly in a positive way with his mouth. He just talks. You can hear him talking out there, and he just engages everybody. He sees things. Austin's smart. And then you couple that with LeRon's energy level and motor, that I think brings us certainly a spark aspect off the bench.
Morgan has this real calmness I've noticed when he catches and shoots, from some short range. Does he have potential to step out?
Matt has great touch. Matt's really worked on his body. Matt had some plays tonight he's got to make. We'll take a look at it on the film. I thought he was physical on a couple walls, but he's also had a couple miscues here and there. We'll take a look at it, but I think he's gotten better tonight. He made shots consistently. That short jumper you're talking about, he's been good at that for a long time. Some of the other things will shore up a little bit defensively and at the offense with him.
Assist total your turnover total was only 9, which is great, that many players. That's pretty exceptional.
Yeah, we've taken care of the ball well.
That's very few for that many guys.
We've done that consistently in the scrimmage, the exhibition game, the Quincy game, and now tonight. But those guys know that's just kind of what we're supposed to do. We play with somewhere around 10-ish, and it's kind of what we've done here for 3 years. And obviously you don't want to take that for granted. The other night we were bad in the first half. I thought we were soft with the ball. We had 8 turnovers. They took our ball. We threw chest passes right to them. We didn't have the right mindset. And in the second half, I think on Friday we had 1 turnover, DB, on Friday night. Second half, 1 turn. Yeah, so we took care of the ball better in the second half. I can't believe I just knew a stat that DB didn't. That's amazing. Okay.
Talk about transition offense and really pushing the ball up and down the court. Does it help having the guard depth that you have with them?
And without question, yeah. And then Tate and Starks have a gift to push it, so we're trying to play to our strengths. I thought Tate was exceptional tonight pushing the ball. Obviously the 2 point guards were 12-1 assist to turnover tonight. I thought Tate had a good defensive game as well, maybe one of his better ones. So I thought he did some really good things. It certainly helped our team tonight at both ends of the floor.
Anything else here for Coach?
So 20 minutes, roughly 20 minutes per player. How important is it going to be being able to do that game in, game out to maintain the efficiency of this team?
Well, I don't know if we'll do that to this level, game in and game out, but I do like our depth. We've got some depth. and our guys are aware of that. You know, with that certainly comes, you know, you gotta have a sacrificial mindset a little bit, and know that it's about the team. And you know, I like our guys' mindset right now. We got to continue with that. But we got contributions from a lot of guys tonight, and we have some more depth for sure. It allows us to play the pace we want to play. It should allow us to get a little bit more aggressive defensively with our effort and our activity on the ball. And I thought that was certainly the case tonight.
Does it say something about your team this year that we've had a press conference, we haven't mentioned Ray Rice, who had 14, 8, and 4 steals, and last year that may have been, you know, had him there in the press conference. Say something about.
Well, we could have had Ray. We could have had a number of guys up here. You know, maybe we should have brought everybody. DB.
Does it say something about your team?
What it really says about Ray, Ray's grown up. Ray's done a lot of things now. I mean, he's, you know, been leading scorers in all leagues. You know, he's done a lot of cool things, and he's a very special player. But I think Ray's, you know, seniors, they get to that point where, like, he wants to win. You know, he cares about that a great deal. You can tell his disposition, his mindset, the way he talks, like, you know. But I think he's, you know, he played well tonight. We had other guys that were aggressive as well. I thought Ray was good on the glass. I thought Ray's been more active on the glass in practice. Was active on the glass on Friday night against Georgia Southern. Was active today, and obviously Ray's a huge part of what we do.
And no fouls for him or Aaron or Matt.
Yeah, that's good. Got to play hard without fouling. I tell him fouling negates hustle. You know, there's certain times, obviously, Rob, where, you know, fouling is appropriate, but most of the time it's not. And, you know, we want to be physical without fouling. I thought we had a good balance of that tonight.
All right.
Anybody else?
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.